Okay, here we go. I'm going to demonstrate functionality of the IBM Hyperledger. Okay, so there's a lot of layers here, but here's the first thing I've got here is this is the it's hosted locally, local host. This is running from hosting from here, from my virtual machine here. So this is okay. Here we go. Also define. There was a whole bunch of earlier work to get this all set up. I can go over these details maybe in person at some point, but basically what this is, these are the model files here. These define the products and the members and the events and basically all of the objects, you know, in object-oriented programming kind of sense, all the objects involved in the system here. Much of this is copied directly from the blockchain demos on IBM. The whole point here, I didn't modify this much because there wasn't much point yet. Of course, it's super easy to change these. You know, we could just go in and make our own. They use their own modeling language, but it's not complicated at all. Then they have, this is where the logic is defined. So if you want to do transactions, create an order, buy an order, or sorry, create order, they separate it for some reason to create order, and then buy is to actually go and purchase it. We can divide these up however the business logic suits us best. But then, you know, cancel, and then the important blockchain-y kind of stuff is having stuff like, what is it, disputes and resolution. There's dispute, there's resolve. I think where the business value of all this, of the blockchain, is that it becomes really simple and straightforward to resolve disputes because everything is available on the blockchain, right? So then there's permissions. These are just where you define which user types have access to what. Query file, I'm not even 100% sure. This seems almost redundant to me, but it's a short file. It's just that for whatever reason they need you to specify how you're going to query it, even though you query it on multiple levels. Again, there's a lot of layers here. So this is what's hosted now as this is the quote-unquote blockchain. Now over here, there's a tool that you can use to generate an entire REST API, which is super useful, super cool. I had to tinker with some of these requests for a while to get some of them to work. I have by no means exhaustively gone through all of this and worked with it all, but I have actually, I just wanted to do one post request. I wanted to post a new transaction to the blockchain, and that was my goal here, and I was able to do that. So let's go to where I've hosted everything. Now the application layer is separate from all that. This is my own code entirely, where where I'm tinkering around in Node.js, and okay, local host. I don't even have an index yet. This is like super under construction, but it will show functionality at least. So I'm going to go log in, and here's another cool little bonus. I got OAuth working with it. That I had to go on a separate tangent there because they didn't talk a lot about authorization methods with the IBM tutorials I was looking at in the IBM literature. I guess that's something we would do on our own in our own way, and I implemented OAuth as was suggested to me. So here we go. Thing pops up. One of my email addresses. A session has been created, and the cookie stores my Google ID. Now, right now, I just have on the front end, up here, I only have like three user types. Let's go with customer. So customer, submit. This is just choosing which type of user you are. Welcome customer, view available products. Here's our nifty looking store. You can see these beautiful products. Of course, you can picture something like, if you use your imagination, say in the telecom industry, we would have, I don't know, I don't have much experience in the telecommunications industry, but I don't know, maybe we're selling servers to offices and small businesses and companies, and they, you know, you can just picture a bunch of servers here, add to cart. Let's add this one. This one especially looks interesting. Oh, and you see the console.log I got showing that these are the product IDs that are being added to the cart. View the cart. There's our three products. Submit order. So this is like finalizing the purchase and creating an order. Nothing has been sent to the blockchain yet, but this is where it does it. This is the cool part. This is the fun part. So here, submit order. Oh, there we go. Yeah, just take a second because it actually has to query to the blockchain and back. So that's not a surprise that it takes sometimes. It's a separate localhost address and a separate port. But there we got submitted the following order, and it's beautifully stated as object. But here's the part where we can actually see it. We go back into here, go to test. order assets. This is it. I don't know if you recognize those three numbers, but those are the ones. They are now on the blockchain. So there we go. And the rest is pretty straightforward. This was just like the nitty-gritty details of getting it all, accessing the blockchain. From here is just working with the REST, the REST model and their endpoints, and just UI and UX stuff pretty much at this point. So yeah, that's that. And then also today I went and finally got into my IBM Cloud account here. I still have to learn a bit about this stuff, but this is where we would go. At least I have the dashboard in front of me. So the next step is to deploy it to IBM Cloud. And since I imagine that's probably where we're going to want to go when the project hits a bigger scale, is to host it on IBM. Makes sense. It's IBM Hyperledger. Might as well use IBM Cloud. But anyway, that's just, you know, the next step here. So I'm going to end this video, and hopefully that demonstrated some of the functionality and potential values of the blockchain.